booked, blessed, and busy.
That's right.
Virtual reality.
Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Evan.
And this week there is so much Bravo news going on that we needed reinforcements, Evan. And I'm so happy this week our reinforcement is Dylan Hafer, the host of Mention It All podcast with Betches. Hi, Dylan.
Hello, I'm excited to be here.
Oh my God, Dylan, we are so happy to have you. I'm really excited to get your take on all of the Bravo gossip that's going down this week, especially, kicking off with this whole RHONY Legacy situation. Apparently it's, in Dorinda's own words, it's on pause. Negotiations have stalled. The girls are apparently fighting. They're blaming Jill. Luann is out here reading the New York Post in a cafe looking more distraught than ever. What is your reaction to everything going down?
First of all, I just feel like Legacy from the beginning has felt like this, cursed vehicle. I think everybody agrees we want something with these women. We're not done with Luann and Sonia and Dorinda and everyone, but it just feels like this ship that's cursed to never really leave the port. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's still going to happen. It just might not happen now. And I think Bravo always has their chess pieces and their priorities. And I feel like they're probably sick of fielding phone calls from Jill and Dorinda and Luann at this point. So they're like, look, we'll circle back in a month or two.
I like that you're like Liza Minnelli singing Maybe This Time for the reunion, for this to happen. Maybe Luann can incorporate that into her cabaret. What I am curious is because now it seems like the cat fight it over like Jill being wanting a little bit more from the contracts and everything. And not to put you on the spot, but if you could be like, this legacy could live without blank, who do you feel it doesn't need in the current setup of them?
I like everyone that's kind of in the orbit of casting. So there's nobody that I'm like, cut her loose. She doesn't belong here. But I think you just based on longevity and recent history, I think Jill would be the most natural first option to kind of lose from the equation. Because if you look at RHONY for the last 6-7 seasons that happened, she wasn't there.
Well, and it's so funny that it's apparently Jill who is stalling the negotiations by asking for more money than the other girls, because she seems so eager to be back on TV that I would think that she would just accept like a post-it note that says IOU from Andy Cohen and just get cameras up and start filming.
Honestly, the person I think that comes out of all of this looking the best is Ramona, because she saw the writing on the wall a few months ago and was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And she put her, she stuck her flag in the sand, and now everybody else doesn't even have a show to be on. So at least she's walking her own path, doing her real estate, whatever she wants to be doing, but she's not clamoring for a check.
One of the other biggest stories this week is the Robyn and Juan and the truth coming out that was announced on her Recently Shady Part 1 for the Patreon. Dylan, what are your thoughts on kind of, I don't know if it's justice for Karen, but the way Robyn revealing more about this TikTok girl with Juan, and B, thoughts on her revealing it not at the reunion?
Look, I think it's unfortunate. I get everybody has their own strategy about what they want to share and when and where, but I think we've been watching Housewives long enough to know that if you are really going to conceal stuff from the show, then it's going to come back to bite you. And I think Robyn almost told on herself in a way that was surprising for somebody who's been on the show this long, that it's like, if you wanted to keep it secret, just keep it secret, but don't run around and tell it on a different platform, because that's the kind of thing that's going to get you on Andy Cohen's bad side for sure.
I don't know. I feel like she kind of thought she was stunting on us all by saving this for her Patreon, and I don't think it's going to work out for her in the long run. Yeah. Yes. And I definitely feel for her castmates who are frustrated, specifically like Candace and Chris, who are very, very upset over the situation because, they were kind of like dragged through the mud this season. But then again, it's also like, if this happened to Candace and Chris and it didn't happen to come up, like, why would they bring it up? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I guess like if the shoe was on another cast member, would they do the same? Would they handle it differently? I don't know. But I just kind of like, I'm trying to like think what was going through Robyn's mind when Ashley brought up the Karen doppelganger at the dress shop in Mexico. Like the relief she must have felt that it wasn't the TikTok girl.
Or you know who this just further proves? Kenya Moore needs a cameo on every franchise because the way that cookie lady walked in Atlanta, this TikTok girl would be flying in from Canada. Kenya would have booked her, like used her miles to book her in, and we'd get some answers.
Oh my God. Yeah. Or like Miami girl from Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my God. Get Kristen Doty on Real Housewives of Potomac. That's something I never thought I'd be saying.
Who I can't imagine ever being buddy is Dr. Nicole and Larsa, because the interview because Dr. Nicole was on your pod Mention It All, and I loved so much, we covered it for page 6, that she said that Larsa should just stop bringing fake boyfriends on the show and bring your real relationship.
That was such a good interview, Dylan. Like she came ready, Dr. Nicole.
Thank you. Yeah, the timing worked out perfectly because it was like 5 p.m. the day before they filmed their reunion. So Nicole had just watched all the episodes at the end of the season. She had taken her notes. She was ready to go. It felt like a practice run. And the thing with Larsa, I enjoy Larsa a lot as a character, but I think Nicole is right that most of the women on that cast are really bringing, their real selves to the table. And, we see Alexia going through so much. We see Lisa going through so much. We see, Guerdy being really open about stuff that's happening with her brother and all of that. And it does feel a little bit like Larsa isn't really willing to bring that level of authenticity to the table. And while I think she's entertaining TV, if I were in that group, I'd be like, excuse me, can we address like one of the elephants in the room at least?
She's kind of like the Phaedra Parks of her cast, where we don't really know anything about her. I mean, this season we have like dog collars, like that. That's all I really know about her personal life.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she has many businesses, but not a lot of personal things to talk about.
And also with Miami too, because I feel like a lot of people this season in particular, they're kind of shifting of like, our girls, Dr. Nicole and Guerdy, are like kind of like everyone's like, we're obsessed. And a lot of people are kind of like getting a little tired of Alexia, it seems. Are you feeling that way too? They're calling her like the Teresa of Miami.
Yeah, I think she's the Teresa of Miami, and that can be a positive thing and sometimes a little bit of a negative, because I think she has a family and a story that people really connect with, and people feel very protective of her in a way, especially last season. But I also think she is somebody who has these kind of old-fashioned values that she feels very strongly about. She can really get heated in the right situation, and I think sometimes take things a little too far. And so I do think the situation with Nicole, she's like choosing the wrong battle in a way, that she's overstepping a little bit, and it's like this isn't worth it. You're kind of making yourself look too passionate, too stubborn about something that overall doesn't really even affect you.
What do you think of Alexia's seeming inability to apologize? I think that's where I see the most Teresa-like parallels. They're both Tauruses. Well, Danny's a Taurus too, and no shade of Tauruses. Dylan, what are you?
Oh, I don't like to apologize. Go on.
I'm a Gemini. The situation with Adriana especially, and this man, the fact that Alexia is so clearly just was wrong. Fully wrong. She didn't scroll. Like there's no it doesn't feel like she ever had Adriana's best interests at heart. And so when it's found out that you were just like 100% wrong in a way that was shady, it's like, just own it.
We're so glad that you joined us to gab a little bit. We have to cut it short because after we wrap with you, we talked to another star of Miami, Guerdy, who I think we all love, and Heaven. And also everyone will be able to see her live with us on February 10th at Virtual Reality. Dylan's going to be there. He's going to be, schmoozing, spying, doing all the things. And we're going to be with Melissa and Joe, Dolores and Polly, Guerdy and Russell, and Lindsay and Carl. It's going to be a disaster of the best kind.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But yeah, in the meantime, listen to our chat with Guerdy, who also had a lot of things to say about Alexia.
Guerdy, I just want to acknowledge that you are our first ever repeat guest on virtual reality. So I think the three of us should just soak in this historic.
Wait, let's do this. Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
And if me and Evan had it our way, you'd be joining us every week, but you're way too busy. So
booked, blessed, and busy.
That's right. No, seriously, we are we are blessed to have you Gerdifying the podcast yet again. And we are blessed that you are going to be in our virtual reality live show, Valentine's Day edition, coming up at City Winery on February 10th. You and your handsome
yeah, you're gonna have to ask me how I made that happen. That's the question.
Okay. Well,
I've been busy, and you haven't been working, honey. I've been busy making it count. Okay.
Well, how did you convince Russell?
Huh?
How did you convince Russell? Because he's typically a soft-spoken guy, but he's kind of getting more involved this season.
It was a no for like 3 times, and then I was like, I went out to eat with Matt, actually, my publicist, and he's like, Guerdy, I know you can Gerdify anything, right? So I'm like, I'm up for the challenge. So I went back home and did what a woman had to do. And I was like, you know what? 3 times a week is not good enough. Let's do 2 times a day, mother.
Wow, I hope you wear a Fitbit because that should count. Yes.
Thank you. You're welcome, by the way, for the people.
Yes.
We are so excited because I love you two on the show. And he just seems like you guys just like complement each other so well. And he's very handsome. So I'm excited to meet him in person.
By the way, guys, you guys have not even seen the full Russell experience. Ooh. He is calm, quiet. He speaks when he has to. When he says no, it's like, oh, okay, he has spoken type of thing. He's he's a thing. He's a thing. You'll get to see.
And I'm excited because also I'm excited to see you. Did you meet Melissa and Dolores at BravoCon at all? Have you met them yet?
Yes, I met them both, and then I also was at the premiere for the Whitney Houston movie, and Melissa was there. So we took some pictures together. I took Meredith Marks from Salt Lake. She was my date. We're like we're getting very close, thick as Steve almost type of deal. That's my girl.
I love how all of mine and Danny's favorite housewives are becoming besties. Like across
because of BravoCon. Now it's like a big high school, and there's superlatives, and he's like, I'm the one that's like the expressionist. You know what I mean? Meredith is apparently the CEO of Fun, and I'm like, Meredith, when am I going to see you turn up, girl? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Reunion, you and Alexia, what's going to happen there? How are things in real life? Like, what are your hopes for your relationship?
We're cordial right now. I mean, we're cordial. Instagram behavior matters to me. I like to always say that because it really is. The people you support virtually and face to face. So we do kind of like have a cordial relationship. I never heard a sorry and I never heard a thank you. It was kind of like emotional, and then we hugged. And it's kind of like, okay, that was that scene. I couldn't prolong it anymore because poor Adriana's video at this point was in the toilet. That poor girl. We were not helping her out. I even said, hey guys, we should say sorry. Alexia's like, no, there's nothing to be sorry about. I'm like, okay. And so, I feel like there needs to be a final full circleness about our conversation. Just because I want to make sure she hears me, because next time that this disrespect happens,
It seems like when there's an effort for apologies and Alexia is involved, things don't go well. We saw that with Julia when she tried to apologize about saying that Russian women make the best prostitutes. Then the second Julia was like, no, I need a little bit more from you, Alexia. Things went left. Yeah. What was your take on Julia versus Alexia? That is the feud I never saw coming.
Never.
I think that, the way to grow is to learn, right? From some situation. And if you have a scoreboard and the only thing that you care about, because when she argues with Nicole, wait, did you see this episode? Hold on. Thank God I didn't say anything. Oh, wait, you didn't. You didn't yet. So, oh my God, it's coming. So anyway. Alexia has a scoreboard in a sense. It's how I feel, because there is no way that she wants to apologize for anything that she does. And so it's like I won, you lost. I won, you. It's like, what are you doing? And so like the learning curve is no longer applicable if you're not going to fully put a dot in that whole sentence and move along. And there's always a dot, and now it's back at it again. And now the next time they see each other, they're going to hash out what happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened with Larsa and Nicole. This whole thing about inviting me to your house, that wasn't last year and a half ago. We know what you did last summer. We already talked about it. It's over.
There was a reunion.
Can you imagine that they're talking now at a launch for Frankie's foundation thing, and they're talking about Googling her before she entered the house? First scene of the season was that. Again, we need to close chapters. I like to read a good book and like flip next page, please. Come on.
Totally. Well, speaking of, I feel like these chapters kind of get complicated because the Real Housewives experience is interesting because it's like you film the show, then you do the press, people say things, then you watch the confessionals, people say things. Has there been anything said this season or in the press that really shocked you or disturbed you? You're like, girl, what the hell?
Yes. When Alexia says, who do you think has let fame get in their head? I've been that girl, sweetheart. Okay. I've been doing what I've been doing for 20 years. So, the Vogue. It's not only Vogue, by the way. So let's keep adding on. Vogue, Harper Bazaar, Brides, Martha Stewart, Party State. Should I print out a receipt for you? That's my point. It's like, just scroll through my Instagram. Like it's easy to do. So the way you didn't scroll all the way down and see that the was married, scroll all the way down and see that, like, I've been that girl. Like, so there's no Alexis waiting. It's like, who is the star planner? And all of a sudden my world opened up because of this show or Alexia.
And it's also interesting. She said that you changed the most, but she's the only one on the show saying, I'm a star.
I didn't even care about her saying that. She says, we're jealous because she's the star. And then it's like, I'm a star, you're a star, everybody's a star. Okay, I'm going to physically bring a sticker star to you so that you can wear it as a badge of honor. I don't know what to tell you.
Wait, I hope you do that.
I got to my head. I've been that girl, and I'm not saying I'm a star. I just been the girl who's top of her career, puts her head down, does her work, and then keeps it moving. That's who I am. I don't need to do it, and I don't need to express it for it to be true.
It speaks for
Please
itself.
bring like star stickers to the reunion.